let you all know they're now, I think, replacing the unit that went down and limping through this, so that's why it's a little warmer now. Hopefully they get that remedied before the afternoon hits, but I'm sure you're aware of it. So, talk next week.
Sergeant Radford. Sergeant, I'll remind you, you're still under oath.
Yes, sir.
Please be seated. And just to refresh our memories, can you state your name?
It's John Radford.
In your honor, the state will be offering Sergeant Radford's testimony as an expert in the field of latent fingerprint examination and process, which he has been previously entered in. May I proceed? May I proceed? Sergeant Radford, I believe where we left off in your earlier testimony was you photographed the perimeter of the crime scene. Do you recall?
Yes, I did.
What I'd like to sort of ask some questions about at this junction is, did you have the occasion to process Tony Howard's patrol vehicle at the crime scene?
Yes, I assisted in that process.
And tell us about that process. What do you do?
We were, just to give some background, we were assisting the GBI. We were definitely not lead on the investigation. At the direction of one of the agents on the scene, I believe it was Agent Rossler, he asked that myself, Detective Schultz, and Detective Harold process Officer Howard's car for fingerprints. Detective Harold and Detective Schultz divided the car up and processed halves of the car, I believe, with latent fingerprint powder and brush. I came behind them with fingerprint tape and lifted the fingerprints that they had processed and placed them on the fingerprint cards.
And when you say you lifted the prints, tell us about that specific process.
They would, as they processed for fingerprints, they would draw my attention to what they had seen. I would obviously visually inspect the fingerprint that they had, and then I would, the fingerprint tape that we use, it's a combination, or it can be either 2 inches wide or 4 inches wide, depending upon the size of the print. I would take an appropriate amount of tape off, place it over the fingerprint to minimize air bubbles, and then smooth the tape out with my finger. After I have done that, and typically I go ahead and I apply the tape to all the prints that we've located. Then I'll go back with a fingerprint card labeled with the location I recovered it from and usually a diagram of the area the fingerprint was recovered from, then lift the tape off of the card or the surface and place it onto the fingerprint card.
And I'm showing you State's Exhibit 150. It's already been entered into evidence. You recognize that particular photo?
Yes, this is Officer Howard's patrol car.
Is that the vehicle you were processing?
Yes.
Now, did you move this vehicle to process it, or did you process it where it was?
We processed it as it sat.
Okay. And were you primarily focusing on the exterior, interior, or both?
This was exterior processing, I believe.
I'd like for you to view State's Exhibit 181. Do you recognize State's Exhibit 180?
I do.
And what is it?
These are the latent print cards that I labeled or collected and labeled from Officer Howard's car.
And it came from this patrol car we are viewing on the screen?
They did.
Okay. And how many lift cards did you do?
Ooh. So give me a second to count. There are 21.
Your Honor, at this point, the state moves to tender State's Exhibits 180 or Exhibit 181.
Objection. Sir, I'd like to get a visual on this, so I can see what it is. If you don't mind, please. You can show us your own neat testimony with this one.
And can you explain to the jury what you did next?
Similar to the other comparison that we talked about the other day, my order of operations is to sort through and see what we have that's of APHIS or comparable quality, and then determine the names of the people we need to perform comparisons to.
All right. And did you compare these particular lists with anyone else's?
I compared them to SBO Howard. I do not have a record of comparing them to anyone else.
Okay. And what, if anything, well, first of all, are there a few select prints that you consider?
Yes, there are 2 cards in particular. They're marked as, the first card was from the driver's side B pillar of vehicle 176, which on the photograph, the B pillar would be this area. Oh, I guess that's not all. If you look at the driver's door of the, there we go. The driver's door of the car, this is the B pillar area right here. The second card that was of interest came from the window frame of the driver's side rear window, which would be in this area right here.
And you indicated that you compared these specific prints to those of Officer Howard.
I did.
Is that correct?
That is correct.
I'd like you to view State's Exhibit 182.
Thank you.
And I'll ask you, do you recognize State's Exhibit 182?
I do.
And what is it?
These are the known prints of Officer Howard.
Now, when you're hired as a law enforcement officer, are you fingerprinted upon employment?
Yes, you are.
And did the Athens Clark County Police Department have Officer Howard's prints on file with them?
We did not.
And why is that?
Initially, when Officer Howard began his employment with the county, he was employed by the Clark County Sheriff's Office. In the course of the background check they did prior to his employment, they obtained his fingerprints.
Okay. So did you obtain these known prints from the Sheriff's Office as opposed to your own police department?
I did. We left the original inked fingerprint cards in his personnel file. They provided us with photocopies.
And is that what you utilized in the comparison?
Yes,
And in State's Exhibit 182, a photocopy of those prints.
it is.
Our state moves to tender State's Exhibit 182.
Any objection? No, sir, Your Honor.
If you will, can you remove the two prints that you identified?
Yes.
You may hit up the data. Looking at State's Exhibit 181, can you tell us where these latents came from?
This is from Officer or SPO Howard's car, the driver's side rear window frame near the roof area of Vehicle 176. And you, actually, sorry, this is right under your finger. That's the diagram I'm speaking of when I talk of the diagram that I draw.
Okay. And what are we doing on this side of the lane, you think, Mark?
This actually, I believe it's this print right here. Again, you can see my sticker with the terminology that means I had located a match to the number 8, which equates to the left middle finger of Tony Howard. My initials and the date of the comparison. Tony's or Officer Howard's information, and my peer reviewer, Detective Stewart's initials.
And did you in fact identify this print as belonging to Officer Howard?
I did.
And it wasn't reviewed by another independent review?
Yes, Detective Stewart performed that peer review.
Let me call.